Hello everyone. So I am going to start with my literature synthesis, and my topic is the 21st century soft skills. And I'm going to focus on effective communication, leadership strategies, and education technology, and how they all are combined to build these 21st century soft skills. So my rationale for this literature review is that schools are inadequately preparing students with the 21st century skills required to succeed, specifically in the areas mentioned, communication, leadership, and education technology. So my literature map is basically in three categories. I divided into three categories. And my first one was effective communication, which many authors concur that effective communication, leadership strategies, and education technology are core competencies. I also cover some suggestions on how to gain skills to have a better effective communication. I also mentioned some of the suggestions by the author about flipped classrooms, which is a self-learning strategy. Also, I covered something about ELLs and the impact that it has about the classification that starting in kindergarten, how it impacts this classification between ELLs and EFEP, Initial Fluent English Proficient Students. I also cover the communication among ESLs and EFLs, English as a second language and also as a foreign language, and some important factors about the impact on their communication ability. Also, my leadership strategies are focused on transformational leadership, collaborative learning, and what is to be a leading, how is like to be a leader as an educator. And also education technology. I mentioned some of the benefits and the connections that technology allows us to have with others around the world, and also the accessibility of find information from everywhere, the amount of resources that we have nowadays to improve all our soft skills. Also, I find a lot of resources saying that integration is very important, because even though we have a lot of data saying that technology and having a lot of resources, if we do not apply it into our daily lives, basically data stays obsolete. And yeah, also mentioning that technology is a powerful tool that we need to have. So just starting with a background, I have some of these authors saying that employers prioritize critical thinking, communication, complex problem solving when they are making hiring decisions. Also, Tang defines soft skills as personality traits, social gratefulness, fluency in language, personal habitats, friendliness, and to be optimistic in variety of degrees. It also, I'm going to move this one. Some of the authors, as Hirsch, mentioned that they have different ways to refer to these soft skills. They also call it 21st century skills or non-cognitive skills, but they also agree on being communication one of the most important, and also teamwork, leadership, problem solving, initiative, and self-regulation. And even though you have different degrees or different jobs, these kind of soft skills are required and are important. It doesn't matter on which job you are. So what I am trying to address with this literature review is to raise awareness regarding the gap in the expected mastery of the 21st century soft skills and the explicit and implicit training for such skills, and also at the same time to raise awareness regarding the lack of resources and training made readily available. So beginning with my effective communication category, UNESCO, this international organization, have recently emphasized that the curriculum development of the core competences in education, it is important to keep developing. Also, Jack Ma and Hadania supports the idea that the level of retention in learning is the same for offline and face-to-face instruction. Hadania also said that the quality of learning through an online teacher is the same as the real teacher. So this is kind of interesting, and some other authors do not agree with this idea. Hirsch state that infusing important soft skills in traditional academic courses can improve employability in a research that they made in a group of Black youth students. They also mentioned that a way to improve and to have effective communication is to practice the mock job interviews with the students prior to their graduation. It also, some other authors have the idea of flipped classrooms. These flipped classrooms consist of recorded classes and where the professors provide the videos to the students prior to the class. So when they come to class, they have time to solve complex concepts, to answer questions, just to interact. So the main idea of this method of teaching is to engage students and encourage them to communicate with their peers and teachers across various learning spaces, including in-home, in-class, and in-field learning. Another important concept that I tie with this last one that I mentioned is an example that I found that England is applying, and is a building school of the future programs. So this is very tied with the concept of having a traditional classroom and have the flipped classroom. So these programs that starts in England are creating learner-centered workplaces for students to work on collaboration and have like team building. So students are doing what like normally we are considering to do nowadays, to have doing research on the internet, meeting in groups to plan and make their websites and their digital media presentations as a final class, for example, like this one. So applying technology nowadays is more directed to what the Berman no, it's more directed on the idea of having the flipped classroom, where the teacher is not stand in front of the students just providing the lecture and just giving them homework. Instead, they are having classroom activities, collaborate with their peers. And some of the external factors that I mentioned in my literature map are that Umansky finds that students who are classified as ELLs have significant lower test scores in math and English language compared with the initial fluent English proficiency. Also, oral communication among English as a second language or as a foreign language, they concur on having the speech anxiety, which is a mental block during oral communication. And they mentioned that teachers and peers have like a very important impact on how these students perceive how they are receiving the information from them. And also pedagogical resources were declared the most important factors that produce anxiety among these kind of learners in the language classroom. And I also cover some of the factors which are linguistic factors, social factors, and psychological factors. So going to my second category, leadership strategies, I covered that transformational leadership. The authors cover and use a lot the word collaborate among stakeholders. Collaborating learning is also a learning type to achieve a mutual goal through teamwork. Some of the characteristics of being a leader as an educator, mentioned by Hyatt and Williams, are to communicate and facilitate, to have the theory but also the practice, to use technology, to be a model and teach ethics, to work on the knowledge but also in experience, to use to understand the pedagogical understanding, lifelong learning model, and to use a lifelong learning model, because we are lifelong learners. And digital skill researcher Poynton defines digital literacy as the basic knowledge, skill, and attitudes needed by all citizens to be able to deal with computer technology in their daily lives. An important data that I found is that almost 25% of study groups of 43,000 adults labeled themselves as inexperienced in computer usage. So what are the benefits of educational technology? It will help students to prepare for the future. Students become equipped to face a highly technology future and to be able to easily adapt. Adaptability is another soft skill that a lot of authors mention that we need nowadays. Another benefit is to improve students' communication skills. This way, students will have access to different channels where they can communicate and collaborate with teachers and other students. Educational technology, continuing with my second topic, data from the National Center for Education Statistics indicate that across the 16,000 public schools district, more than half of the students are enrolled in distance education courses. And there's also almost no infrastructure developed to prepare teachers for online specific environments. And as the National Council of English Teachers suggests, is that learners need to move from content consumers to content curators to be content creators. So what is a content creator? So some of the questions suggested by the author on how to orient learners to be a content creator is to have these questions in mind. Do learners make creative decisions with intention, developing and using skills associated with modality? Do learners communicate information and ideas to different audiences? And do learners communicate information and ideas in a variety of forms and for diverse purposes? So technology is an effective tool that can make education more meaningful and engaging for teachers and students. What I am going to try to go deep as a future research, I would like to have more examples on what other countries or what other schools are doing in regards building schools of the future programs, how other technologies they are using to engage students, and also covering a little bit about English language learners and English as a second language, and how they impact the developing of skills. And I would like to conclude with this phrase from David Warklick that says that we need technology in every classroom and in every student and teacher's hands, because it is the pen and paper of our time, and it is the lens through which we experience much of our world. Thank you very much. And that's it.